Hi everyone. In the previous chapter, we have discussed about being unique, being special, being ourselves. Correct? We said those are the aspects of diversity. In this chapter, let us talk about how being different make us face some sort of discrimination in the form of victim for being different. And we will try to explore how such experiences are related to the society we live in. After understanding this chapter, decide yourself how should we be the change that society need. Even after we are facing discrimination, we should be the torchbearer to the society for forming a better society. To begin chapter, first understand about the words difference and prejudice, what NCERT is stressing. So, to explain about difference, let me take example of yourself. How you differentiate yourself from others? By how you live, the languages you speak, what you eat, what you wear, the games you play, the things you celebrate, all these are the parameters that defines your culture and how you are different from other persons. We also said that all of these are influenced, these parameters are influenced by the both geographical and history of the place where we live. And we also discussed about it in the previous chapter. If you recall that video, you will understand this. We also talked about India as an example to say the difference. So, being different in terms of country, we can say that through this statement, or we can say in the world there are 8 major religions. Each and every religion is practiced in India. India has more than 1600 languages that are people's mother tongue. More than 100 dance forms are available in India. So it is different from different countries. So if you ask any Indian how diverse you are, he probably think long enough, but he can't answer it because this diversity is not always celebrated. Think this way. If you face a person who look, talk, dress, think like you, probably you say, dude, we have the same kind of ideology, let us be friends. This happens to you for a reason. You feel safe and secure with them, right? Sometimes when you meet the people who are very different from you, you find strange and unfamiliar with them. At times, you may also not understand or know the reason why they are different from us. But here we have to understand that when we are with a familiar kind of people, like same ideology, we don't have any problem. When we are not like them, we feel uncomfortable with them, right? When the people are different from us, we feel uncomfortable with them. We form certain attitudes and opinions about others. If these attitudes and opinions are negatively impacting them, and if we see them as inferiors to us, then the way we are thinking at the situation is prejudice way. Okay? Now, what is meaning of prejudice? Prejudice means to judge people negatively or seeing them as inferior. Why do we practice it? Because this happens only when we think that one particular way is the best and right way to do things. And you say that my way is the only way, it's correct. Others' way is not correct. At that time, we often end up not respecting others who may prefer to do things differently. Common prejudice generally we see in daily life, like in schools or in society. I'll quote certain examples. Like first example regarding language. Many people seen as English as best language and other languages are not so important. What happening here is we are judging these other languages negatively. As a result, we may not respect the people who speak these languages other than English. Example, if a person speak English, we think that he have so much of talent. But the truth is, the language is seen as important than the subject he has. Second prejudice in daily life, religious belief. Some says only one God is great. And they even form the country in the name of religion. The way here they are practicing is prejudice way. Third, very interesting, you will find definitely in whole world, the color of skin. Generally, people have a notion that when we see the fair or light color, we say like white people, they tends to call them hey, hi. But if they see the dark skin people, directly they call him like Bhaiya, Didi. Like this is what I have observed. This is not like others' opinion, my personal opinion, okay? Or else say in other way. In movies, we will always be seen like heroine should be the fair and slim. If she is not fair or if she is not slim, people don't accept that movie. Prejudice way. Right? There are few other ways too, like the region they come from. Wherever the regions, we see them as inferior for some reasons. The accent they speak in, the clothes they wear in, all this, right? So, the prejudice is so strong that we don't even form friendship with them. At times, we may even act in a ways that hurt them. The one way in India, some idiots practice is same caste friendship. The caste friendship is prejudice way of being friendship. But now, I think you are clear with the both difference and prejudice. So what is difference? We said like how you are different from other people. We explained the term difference. Next we are explaining prejudice. Prejudice, practicing as other peoples as inferior and judging them negatively. Right? Now let's talk about creating stereotypes. How the stereotypes is been created by the society or we as a people, as a society, right? NCERT explained it through gender differences. Generally, many of us say we are born as boys and girls. But how do you say yourself as a boy or a girl? How do you define yourself as a boy or girl? We may also think that it is a given. God gave us. We are given, so we don't think about it. Other way to define boy or girl is we try to say some qualities that are associated with a particular gender. Example, I am giving a few statements here. Look at them. They are well behaved, they are soft spoken, gentle, they are physically strong, they are naughty. In this statement, let us look at they don't cry. I'll explain about this. Generally, we say that this is a quality associated with the boys. But who gave this quality? Do boys possess this quality at birth or they learn such behavior? It is a society we live which gives this quality to the boys. Let me explain this. How this happens in the society. Okay? They don't cry. As a babies or a children, when boys fall or hurt themselves, their parents or family members often console them by saying, "Don't cry, you're a boy." Boys are brave, they don't cry. As the children grow up, they start believing that boys do not cry. So even if the boy feels like crying, he stops himself from doing that because he believes that crying is a sign of weakness. So I should not cry. So especially when they are angry or in pain, even though both boys and girls sometimes want to cry, but boys, as they grow older, they teach themselves not to cry. If a grown boy cries, then he feels that other will tease me, laugh at me, so he stops himself from doing in front of others. Here, understand that the behavior is imposed on the boys from the childhood. So while growing, we are constantly listening these statements and accepting it without even thinking. We start believing that each one of us must behave accordingly. Other stereotype that has been created on the girls. Late night, the girls should not go outside the home or roam on the roads. The stereotype the society created is because some other people will attack them. But the thing is, even though the area is secure, you will not allow your girl child or your daughter to go out with the friends or a boys or a girlfriends in the night, right? This is a kind of stereotype. Here, we are fixing all boys and girls into an image that society created around us. So this is the way how we impose stereotype. So by this example, I think you have understood, like we fixing every people into one image, we creating a stereotype. So how in real life scenario we practice stereotype? It is when people say that particular country or a certain religion or a certain sex, race, economic background people are stingy, lazy, criminal or dumb. They are using the stereotype. Mostly there are stingy and generous people everywhere in every country, in every religion and every group, whether rich or poor or male or female. There are every kind of people in every society. Just because some people are like that, it is not fair to think that everyone will be the same. So stop using stereotypes. Why? Why we are saying stop using stereotype? Because it affects us like looking at each person as an unique individual with his or her own special qualities and skills that are different from others. They fit large number of people into one pattern or type. Boys, you're strong, don't cry. Girls, you should not go out. They are fitting every people into one pattern or a type. Assume that the girl herself is a police. Even though she is a police, but she can't go out because of the fear that society has created. We don't know that the bad is happening in the midnight or not, but the thing is, we are fitting large number of people into one pattern or a type. So that type is model of stereotype. Okay. Next, stereotype, it affect all of us. They prevent us from doing certain things that we might otherwise be good at. Until now, we have learned difference, prejudice and stereotype. Now we'll go to inequality and discrimination. So what is prejudice? Means judging the other people negatively or seeing them as inferior. What is difference? How you are different from other people. And stereotype, we fix people or every people into one image, right? Now discrimination. Discrimination happens when people act on these prejudice or stereotypes. Here, if you do something to put other people down, or if you are stopping them from taking part in certain activities or taking up jobs, or stop them living in a certain neighborhoods and prevent them from taking water from the same well or hand pump that you are drinking, and not allowing in the same cups or glasses, you are not allowing them to drink the tea or others, as like you are discriminating against them. So the discrimination can take place in many forms or because of several reasons. Do you remember Samir Ek and Samir Do? The previous example we have said in previous video. They are from different religions. Being different from others can also be a source of discrimination. Speaking certain languages, following particular religion, living in a specific regions, etc. The discriminations comes mainly against their customs or the practices may have been seen as inferior. Remember Samir Ek and Samir Do. They also have another kind of difference in their economic backgrounds. Samir Do was poor. The difference previously we read is in the form of diversity. Here the difference is of poor. This makes it an inequality. Inequality means inequality in terms of availability of resources or the money to meet basic needs for food, clothing, shelter. If we are poor, we experience discrimination in offices, in schools, hospitals, etc., where we treat badly for just being poor. We can't say like poor person going into that multinational company or going into richest hotel. The door member itself, they say that this is not your cup of coffee. Please go. You can't bear these expenses. We are discriminating them instead of allowing them to experience. So, if we face one kind of discrimination, we feel bad. But there are people who faces both kind of discrimination. One in terms of inequality, like being poor, one in terms of diversity. For being poor and for being in culture which valued less, these are tribals, some minority religions, some minorities. Let us look at famous Indian who was discriminated against. By this example, you can also understand the ways in which caste was used as discriminative against large number of people. So this story is of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, one of the greatest leaders of India. his first experience of caste-based discrimination. What is caste-based discrimination? Here, the lower caste people are seen as untouchables, and if they are touched, they should immediately bath, or else they should and some worst kind of discrimination practiced against them because their work differs from your work. Dalit is a term used to call these untouchables. Okay, the Dalit means who have been broken. The word, according to the Dalits, shows that how social prejudice and discrimination have broken the Dalit people even. So the government refers this group of people to scheduled caste. So let us go to year 1901, where the story of Ambedkar, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. In 1901, he was just 9 years old. He had gone with his brothers and cousins to meet his father in Koregaon, which is in Maharashtra, now in Maharashtra, India. They are very happy and excited to meet their father. They are waiting near station for their father or his servant to take them to Koregaon because they don't know the way, how to go there. So they waited long enough, but no one turned up. A station master came near them and asked for the tickets, and they showed the tickets to him, and he inquired why they are waiting for. He asked why they are tarried. Tarried means waiting longer than intended time or delaying in leaving. Okay. Then we replied, we don't know the way to Koregaon and no one came to take us. Ambedkar said. From the dress or talk, no one can find out that we are untouchables, and the station master asked them who we are. Then Ambedkar replied we are Mahars, and Mahars are untouchable in the Bombay presidency. The station master stunned as he thought that we are from upper caste, and after hearing from my voice we are Mahars, his face went sudden change. We could see that he was overpowered by the strange feeling of repulsion. He is going far from them. As soon as he heard my reply, he went away to his room, and we stood there for 15 and 20 minutes, and sun was almost setting, and our father has not turned up. And his servant even didn't came. After some time, the station master also left us. We were quite bewildered. The joy and happiness which we felt at the beginning of the journey that we are going to meet our father, the only thing we have left is the feeling of extreme sadness. Why? Because we can't reach our father. After half an hour, station master returned and asked us what you are going to do. We said if we could get a bullock cart or on hire, we would go to Koregaon. And if it was not so far, we will like to start straightway by walking, they said. There were many bullock carts plying on the hire, but when the Ambedkar ji has said the station master that we were Mahars, that news gone around among the all cartmen and around the station, and none of them was prepared to suffer for being polluted and to demean themselves to carrying a passengers of untouchable class. So they were refusing to come to any place, Koregaon. We were prepared to pay the double price, but we found that money didn't work. The station master who was negotiating on our behalf stood silent, not knowing what to do. So after listening this story, they didn't went near the father just because they are Mahar caste people, and when the father also didn't turn up, they don't know how to reach home. Imagine how difficult it would be if the people could not move easily from one place to another. How insulting, how hurtful it will be to have people move away when they listen about their caste, or refuse to touch you, or refuse to allow you to drink water from the same source as they do. As there is a saying, until you experience the discrimination, you never know how it tastes. Even though you don't practice, but when you don't stand against it, it is same as cruel as it. So the society which treated some Dalits utterly discriminative, they faced the same kind of discrimination in the hands of British rulers. They discriminated Indians. Next we are going for striving for equality. Now we have listened how the discriminative practices has been implemented on the Dalits or some untouchables, right? Now to fight against British, every Indian united for a cause. It is freedom. We want freedom. Swaraj de do. Give me freedom. In Indian society, the people who faced discrimination earlier are Dalits, women, tribals, and peasants. As they experience the idea of freedom, now they want to free from the clutches even imposed by the Indian society. So Dalits fought against, we need freedom. They fought against gaining entry into temples. Women's, they fought against, they should have as much as right to education as men did. Why women are not allowed to educate? They fought against this. Peasants and tribals fought against the money lenders and high interest rates they were charged. So they fought against Britishers and against inequalities they experienced. Okay. Now, when India became a nation in 1947, India got independence, right? Our leaders were aware of these kind of inequalities that existed in India. They have also faced discrimination from the Britishers. So they know the pain of discriminating. Now, those who had the work of writing rules that how our nation is going to function has carefully documented rules in our constitution. So that struggles people faced is never forgotten, never repeated. Example, how Ambedkar fought for the rights of Dalits. So the leaders set out a vision and goals in constitution to ensure that all the people of India were considered equal. This equality of all persons is seen as a key value that unites us. When you are equal, we are same and we will be united. So the equality of all persons is seen as a key value that unites us as all as Indians. Everyone has equal rights and opportunities. So by this constitution, these leaders brought some solutions for Dalits or some other person. The main discrimination Dalit faced is due to their work. They can't change their work due to caste system or the work they do, right? Due to caste system, they can't change that work. So our constitution recognized people are free to choose their kind of work they wish to do, as jobs are open to all people. Because their jobs are untouchables, correct? This untouchability is seen as crime and has been legally abolished by law. Whatever the work you do, you have right to do that without discrimination. First solution. And second solution, our constitution also placed responsibility on the government to take specific steps to realize that equality for the poor and other such marginal communities. How the constitution is placing responsibility on government to take specific steps, like providing reservation, like providing food grains in terms of rations, right? Why? Let me say an example of reservation. For example, if you are a person who is practicing Indians, right? Cricket. We all know how to bat, how to ball, right? We are practicing it from our childhood. When you are elder, you know how to play the game. But bring a person who is not aware of cricket, and what happens? He can't play. You are saying that within 1 month we both are going to practice and we are going to win on the race. But the thing is, you will perform better, but he cannot perform better. Why? Because his practice time is very less. So the same thing comes to reservation. The people who were discriminated for 2000 years, their idea of being equality doesn't represent for themselves. Even though if you bring them and you said you can read these books, but the thing is they can't read. Their families and the society, no one know how to read. They feel shy while reading it and they feel this is not our thing, we can't read. So they will leave off. So the reservation is provided for these kind of people. If you read half of the other person who are reading, then you will get a job. In this way, reservations have been ensured. The third example, previously we also said that being diverse attract as a source of discrimination. So the writers of the constitution also said that the respect for the diversity was a significant element in ensuring equality. They ensured freedom to practice religion, speak any language, celebrate your own festival and express them freely. This is the other solution. And they said no one language or religion is compulsory for all to follow. The government must treat all religions equally. So by all these ideal principles ensures in constitution, India became a secular country. Now you can practice any religion, any faith without any discrimination. If you are discriminated, you can go to court and you say like, this guy is discriminating just for being me that religion or that caste. Or so now you can understand how this cases has come against like SC/ST case, discriminative case, why we should not discriminate against others, right? The equality, this is seen as important element of our unity, that we live together and respect one another. Till now everything sorted out in climax, correct? Everything by now you can say that yes, our constitution has bring many solutions for all this discrimination. But the sad part is, whichever the example we discussed in this class or in about inequalities, that are still practiced in India even today. So guys, decide your struggles and actions of government is necessary to obtain equality. When you see other person is discriminating, you try to stand against that discrimination, because equality is a value that we have to keep striving for, not something which will happen automatically. We have to strive for that. I hope this chapter is like somewhat emotional. And this is for this video. Take care. Good luck. Bye bye.